Hello, welcome to my quick review of the Herpa models 1/43 scale Ferrari F40 with openings, and I'm going to compare it with this Redline models Ferrari F40. So they are very different cars. So this Redline is a die cast. It may well be die cast resin rather than die cast metal, and this is what you may describe as a thin wall plastic molded with separate components. So you can see here on the openings you've got quite a thin wall plastic. You can see here as well on there in the door and here. So a very different construction that enables these openings, and the key to this is that the red is within the plastic, it's not painted, so you can get a much crisper detail. I mean, if you look at these details here, they're quite, and I'm going to look at the front as well. If we compare the two fronts of these cars, then we can have a look at how crisp the detail is. And I would say on those nacre ducts, on the headlight surrounds, and on this split line here, the Herpa plastic model is sharper. The detail is sharper, I would say. So let's lift that up and have a look there. Yeah, if you see what I mean. Compared to this, the paint slightly dulls those crisp molded lines. Okay. Now, one thing you notice straight away is you've got the black plastic, the black line dividing down the F40 there on the red line, but they haven't put it on to this one here. Now, going back, putting that red line to one side, we'll just have a look at these openings while we're here. So we can look in the front there, see the detail. So the spare wheel tub, not that they came with spare wheels, I don't think they did, but maybe that was left over from the GTO, although the GTO didn't have so much carbon fibre construction. Anyway, but nice detail there, and that comes down and you'll see it doesn't quite hit the right spot. There's a little bit of play there, which was almost to be expected. In some ways this feels more like a toy, but it's just really a different approach to how to do a model car, and there's a lot said for it. I mean, if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, you might have seen my 348 Herpa review, which again was a plastic with, that was a TB Berlinetta, and it had opening doors. And I'm just going to try to get this door open. Okay, there we go. Oh, and that swung right open. Okay, but we can really get in and have a look at the interior there. So, oh, sorry about that alarm going off. That's me, not you. And let's have a look inside the car. So we've got good detail, steering wheel, dashboard, instruments. Yeah, you can see that dash there, that's nice. And the gear lever, the seat and the seat belts are interesting. So let me just try to get a bit more light there. So you've got those seat belts there. They're interesting. They are clearly represented there with them in the plugged in situation. So the belts are all plugged into the buckle in the middle. So it's a 4-point harness by the look of it. You've got say belt, I guess they are, or does that say Ferrari? Probably say belt. And the seats, I mean, look at the seats, they're a thin shell seat, very much the product of that style of moulding. Let's compare it with the seats in this Redline model, and they're definitely more shaped. There's definitely something more there. Let's see what I can do there with the lighting. Okay, yeah. Now, while we're comparing the two, let's look at the engine detail, which we can only see through this Perspex cover on this one. And there's a whole lot of detail there, really. It's not bad at all. So that will just be moulded plastic parts. I don't know if these are polypropylene or ABS, or what the Herpa's made of. I'd be tempted to think it's polypropylene, but maybe somebody could advise. Let's shut that door back up. Well, really, I should have looked at the door card, which you might have got a glimpse of when I open the door. Yeah, there we go. You've got the fabric door pull for opening the door, well known on a F40. Okay, not much to these doors at all. But looking at the engine compartment, I mean, you've got things there. It says Bear on the intercoolers there, which is a bit odd because I'm sure that wouldn't have been quite so prominent, the branding there. Is Bear a German name, and maybe Herpa models are German? They wanted to connect with that. Don't know. But you've got the inlet manifolds and plenums, and you've got the exhaust there. It's a strange exhaust layout with the three exhaust pipes there, and basically I'm not sure what's going on there. Anyway, but you know, you've got detail there. You can see the gearbox down in there. You can see you've got springs. You know, are they active? Oh, the suspension does move up and down. So let's have a look at those suspension components. Yeah, there they are there, and they. I expect the bottom arm, lower arms are part of this lower floor, you know, moulding, not a separate moulding, no actual hinges. But then it does appear that there are, I can see the upper wishbones there, and the upper turret mounts, and the springs. Interesting, really, to see that level of detail. This car rolls on its wheels. There's a bit of a squeak there. Lovely detail on the tyres, actually. I mean, let's compare the wheels with the Redline, and you will see they are different. I mean, the Redline has brighter chrome, very much, really lovely, shiny chrome on that. But the Herpa ones aren't bad. You've got the detail on the star, the way you've got that indentation of the star. You don't have such, you've got better Allen bolt head details on that one. And you've got dots on there, but it's not quite so nice. In fact, not sure the center is at the right proportion. There appears to be, yeah, some kind of, yeah, anyway, not quite so good detail wheels on there. But let's compare the tires. Actually, the tires have a better representation of the tread there, with some asymmetric stuff going on as well. So whereas this one, it's just kind of just a tire. It's not really an accurate tire. Anyway, so looking at the finish of the paint and stuff on this one, you can see blemishes on the roof there where it's obviously been touching against something. So you're wondering why I haven't got the rear compartment on, because this was broken when it arrived. I've only just got it cheaply second hand. But you've got the engine. Let's have a look at the engine covers. So you see there, we've actually got the rod to open the clamshell really open. So that would go into there. And then normally the top, you can see this bit across here is supposed to be here, but it's not in the right place. Anyway, the representation there's quite nice. The perspex with the holes, not too dissimilar to the Redline car there. Holes maybe a bit bigger on the Herpa, and you've got bigger venting on the back there under the rear wing. The rear wing, not bad. It looks a bit overdone, that aero flick up at the back along there compared to the Redline, or even compared to what I would expect. And then I'm gonna tell you what. So this rod for keeping the engine cover open actually fits down quite nicely into its own little bit, a little grippy bit there. So I'm going to put that on, have a look at the back there, and we can see that typical detail for the mesh there to the rear engine. I'm just going to put that on the car, and it fits quite nicely. Let's have a look at that shut line as I get it into the right place, and maybe I'll glue that at some point, not the whole thing back on, but if I can glue this at the top to repair it, then great. But it's not wonderful. These are more fragile and delicate because of their construction. You've got F40 moulded in on the Redline. You don't have it there, which is just purely an effect to do with the way these come out of the mould. So it has to be able to come out of the mould, splitting that way, and of course you can't split it like that. So I don't know how that works. Well, die casting, you don't have to worry about the direction of the mould. The whole, it's cast anyway. I don't know a great deal about that, but it's not. So you wouldn't be able to have F40 written there. Let's have a look at the back of the cars next to each other, and we're seeing that these rear lights are much better. They're bigger. You can see the brake lights in the middle better. These are just almost disappear. And you've got the chrome on the rear exhaust, which you don't really have there. So there's differences, and you've got these bits for some either lower reflectors or fog light and reversing light or something. I don't know, they just don't exist on here. Anyway, probably to do with the moulding of that lower half and the way it's done. But no, it's nice to have this Herpa. You can display it with the door open, that front clam open, the rear clam open. So it has its place. I'm not dismissing it. I do like it. I do like my 348 TB by Herpa that's also plastic with opening doors. So yeah, not bad stuff. You've got the decals, you've got the latch detail there. There's something not so great about the headlights on that one, but and the red on this one is a much deeper, better red. You can tell this is within the plastic because you just doesn't quite give the same feel and finish. And of course, whilst Ferraris had plastic bodies or composite bodies, they were painted on top. And of course, there's all the old legend that, and it's true, that the paint was so thin that you could feel the weave of the carbon fibre. You could see and feel it. Okay, so thanks for watching. I do have plenty of other 43rd scale, 18th, 12th and 64th scale reviews. A lot of Spark and HPI. I find they're just fantastic detailed cars. And if you're interested in that engine compartment detail I did recently, a few weeks ago, engine compartment detail of some HPI Le Mans cars from the 80s, 90s and noughties. So do subscribe, do have a look at my playlists, and thank you for watching.